somewhere near Charleston, South Carolina, in the African American community, the Charleston epitomized the 1920s, celebratory, fast-paced, wild, and shameless. In this video, we'll talk about the culture, the revelations, and the subtle hints of the despair that was soon to come. In this video series, we'll be talking about culture and science in the 1920s, and information on this presentation can be found in Chapter 16, Sections 3 and 4. We'll be dealing with Objectives 9.03, which is Analyze Changes of Lifestyle during the 1920s in the United States, and 9.04, Describe Challenges to Traditional Beliefs and Practices in the 1920s. Our essential questions are: how did Americans differ on major social and cultural issues? And how did the new mass culture reflect technological and social changes? During the 1920s, American industries really flourished. The government supported business. Calvin Coolidge is a conservative, and he believes that the chief business of the American people is business. His policies kept taxes low, tariffs high, and profits up. Businesses are given credit in order to expand, so they're allowed to borrow money in order to grow. And laissez-faire policies are the standard. So we've moved away from the progressive era, which embraces more government intervention, and back towards laissez-faire, less government intervention. People of this era have more money to spend, income taxes were reduced, and wages were increased. So of course the standard of living goes up. And the 1920s was a particularly prosperous time. Americans owned 40% of the world's wealth. The average annual income rose 35%, so people were naturally spending more money, and newer technologies make life easier. We talked a little bit about the development of the automobile. Henry Ford, of course, revolutionized the assembly line, making the Model T and making it affordable to middle class, your average people. The effects of the automobile are that, of course, businesses that are related to it grow rapidly. Construction of houses with driveways and garages, paved roads like Route 66, gas stations, garages, parking lots, shopping centers, motels, traffic lights, lots of related industries spring up that are related to the automobile. Rural families also now can travel into the city or go to a nearby town for shopping or for work. You no longer have to work where you live. Also, families start to vacation in faraway places. Automobile became status symbols, so a sign of not just the wealthy, but also the middle class. We also see the airplane industry expand rapidly. As you know, airplanes began to be used during World War I, and technologies such as weather forecasting, radios, and navigational tools helped with the advancement of the airplane industry. The U.S. Postal Office begins carrying mail via airplanes. And we see the first transatlantic flights by Charles Lindbergh and Amelia Earhart. Also, we start to see commercial airlines in the early 1920s. The first transatlantic passenger flights began in 1927. In the next presentation, we'll talk about how electrical conveniences and advertising that sold those conveniences took consumerism to all new heights.